Hey everyone, it's lettuce time for the tadpoles. So, it's in here, and it being frozen like this means it shatters. So now it's basically goldfish flakes. We're gonna go give this to all them guys now. Probably shouldn't have smashed that, I made kind of a mess. Let's go outside. All right, here we come to the first pond. It's basically goldfish flakes, and as soon as it hits the water, it turns to mush because being in a freezer kind of ruins it. All right, I just took a moment and tore that open. Pour some of that into the pond. There'll be a feeding frenzy. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Just hitting the warm water, it instantly turns to a mush. Its structural integrity just gets ruined when you go ahead and put it in the freezer overnight. Some people in my comments were asking about this pond. And in here, there may be one or two in here, but I think this is basically a dead zone now because it's in an aluminum, well, not aluminum, a shiny metal pond. I think animals can see in there better because it's not dark. So a lot of things just came in here. Birds probably picked them all off. So next year, this will be replaced with a black pond, and this will just be a watering trough for the animals I'll throw in the woods. The only thing that seems to be living in here, you can see there's a water beetle there and some weird stick-looking creature swimming around beneath. And the cattails got too tall and they uprooted. I didn't put enough sediment in here like the other pond. Now this seems to be the best ecosystem pond of all, and it's thanks to this solar waterfall. You see, it's not much of a waterfall. It's just a really slow, dirty-looking trickle. But that dirty-looking trickle is going through moss and grass roots, purifying it so well, gaining heat. They developed in here way faster. Take a look at all the little baby frogs. They're all around basically everything, and there's little ones about to come out. These all appear to be wood frogs. You look around the edge of the pond, there's a bunch of them, and who knows how many of them have already left and went other places. These are wood frogs, so they typically don't completely live in the water. They're more of a forest frog. But there are still hundreds and hundreds of half-developed ones in here that are gonna come up to eat this lettuce. I'm thinking maybe next week I'm gonna go to the store and buy like 200 baby crickets and just dump them in the water and see if these frogs start attacking and going after them. I just had a horsefly on my finger. So we'll be back at this pond in just a couple minutes to do this. So yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Buy some crickets and watch them go nuts as they're swimming around the surface, just picking them off. It might work and it might not. Wow, that one is so tiny. I don't even know how to put that into perspective, how tiny that is. See behind it? That's a heavy-duty straw to keep the fountain from getting too close to the edge and emptying it. It's about the same size diameter, or maybe a little smaller than a drinking straw. So that guy there is like half the size of a dime. Teeny little thing. All right, everyone, over at the big pond, the solar panels are in full sun. That means the air compressor, the pump, is going full blast. Look at all that aeration down there. You heard that big frog just jumped in as I walk around the coast right here. A bunch more will probably jump in. Sometimes the big fat frog likes to sit on that plastic plank I put out there. As we go around the edge, sometimes frogs will jump in. The grass is kind of turning brown now because it's been a couple days of pretty warm weather. Look at all the tadpoles. The ones in here aren't super developed yet, and I think that's because the water's just cooler or they're not eating as much. So there's the rest of that lettuce. They can go nuts after that. I'm gonna rinse this off in the water because they'll eat all the little bits. Both of my fountains have to be unclogged. Look at that one. Only one little hole in the sprinkler head isn't clogged, and this one got clogged kind of well also. So we'll get on that. There's still groundwater coming out of the basement real slow. So maybe next week I'll probably give this a big flush of water. Oh, there's a green frog down there, or maybe a small bullfrog. There's lots of really big ones. I'm not sure where they are at the moment. Look at this water grass. I actually see these seeds. You can just take your finger and slide up and take them. I brought these from somewhere else. Hey, look, there's the fish we accidentally caught. There's a good amount of them in here, and they're getting kind of big. They survived the winter. We accidentally brought them here last season. A couple fish. Biggest one's like 4 inches if you can see them. just swimming around. I don't think they're big enough to pick off the tadpoles. Maybe next year I'll probably try to relocate the fish. Look, the tadpoles are already going after some of this stuff. About 10 minutes later, coming back to the first pond. Yes, there's a lot of them in there picking on that brand new lettuce. You see, I startled a few when I came up. They're eating it. So these guys, basically everyone will be a frog within the next month, and then they're on their own. We're not gonna supply the adult frogs food. They can leave and find their own places. I think the survival rate so far is well over the average in the wild. Usually only up to 3% survive and turn into a frog, and about 1% will live to reproduce the next year. I think we got that maybe even over 20% that turn into frogs. The big frogs will eat the others if they don't leave. I think our percentage is much higher already, being here in kind of captivity. Yep, they're eating in there well. It's like an oily sheen on the water. Did that come from the lettuce? Don't know what that came from. I just flushed it today. I don't have anything on my hands. Maybe it's just natural from the water or something. But everyone's healthy. They like the lettuce. They don't seem to be as hungry now that they're turning into frogs, because they're actually craving more meat. So I've told you guys about the idea. I'm thinking about maybe cooking food. I actually have a frozen turkey in the basement I bought on sale over a year ago. But I don't want to heat the house up. It's been way too hot to cook a turkey. Maybe I'll get like a rotisserie chicken for dinner and throw the carcass pieces in the ponds and let them pick at that. That might be fun to do, maybe over the weekend. Now, when I say the survival rate of the frogs is like 3%, I honestly don't know if that includes all the frogs that never even got to hatch out of the eggs. That may include all the dumb frogs that lay their eggs in puddles that dry up. I really don't know. Now we go in here. You see there's a bunch of mouths picking around at them, but not a huge interest anymore, because at this stage of their life they're a little bit more into protein, not exactly veggies anymore, and lettuce. But I'm sure they would eat something delicious like watermelon, but I don't think we'll do that again next year. And I think this might be a yearly thing we do, rescuing them from the ditches. But thankfully we're in a better, look at all the frogs right here. Little teeny ones. Thankfully we're in a better weather pattern, it seems, where all the swamps don't seem to be drying up yet, at least this year. Wow, these ones are so tiny. Did I just scare a few? It's good they already got fear. Wow, look at all the teeny ones along the edge. Bunch of little babies. Maybe I'll make some more ways for them to get out. They can definitely get out. I think at that size, they can even climb up the side. But if they go over to this end right here, they can easily get up that grass. This pond I have not flushed in weeks, and I've been throwing mass amounts of food, flakes, expired beef jerky, all kinds of things in here for them to eat, and it's not becoming polluted because this filter, even though it's trickling so slow, it absorbs basically all the pollution. I haven't had to flush this pond at all. Nope, it's been going very well. Wow, there are a whole ton of them eating in here. This pond seems to have the most interest. When we first started raising the frogs, nobody in the big pond would eat because it produced so much of its own algae. Wow, you can see the fish racing around out there. Do you see them? Where'd they go? Where did the fish go? I just saw, I think they're a schooling type fish because they seem to be together. You see them out there? Biggest one's maybe 4 inches. They seem to stick together. There's like 4 or 5 of them maybe. But you see the tadpoles are having a lot of fun gathering around each piece, making it spin around because they got to push against it to take bites. These are definitely the least developed ones. A lot of them have hind legs, but they're not nearly ready yet. But I think in a month, basically all of these guys will be ready to come out of the water. So in the next few weeks, the videos of the frogs are probably going to slow down. We won't be showing them every day anymore once they really start turning. Back at the first pond, still a lot going on. Look under the water, see the almost developed frogs just being down on them rocks? The ones that are underwater kind of remind me of the African dwarf frogs that live underwater their whole life. And I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.